Hello YouTube and welcome back to a brand new episode of CGL's Collectibles. In this episode we're heading to the PAL Center in Wayne, New Jersey. Once a month they run a toy show. We've been to it in the past. We've recorded videos on this channel, you guys know. There's also a lot of good stuff there, a lot of non-toy related merchandise like comic books, card games, and more. In this episode you're going to see a lot of really cool stuff that I really wanted to buy. But I did end up pulling the trigger on two really nice high-end items. And the guy that I bought it from, him and his friend, they had a booth together. It was the best booth at the show by far. It was everything that I wanted out of a toy show. I haven't seen them there often. It's probably my first time ever buying anything from either one of those two guys. So I really hope that they're in shows in the future. The majority of the vendors are more of the same. Definitely guys that I've seen before, guys that have been setting up there for a long time, and a lot of people that they bring the same kind of stuff, which, as I discussed in a previous video, I'm not a huge fan of. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Funko Pops in general. I mean, those have been around for a long time. But even as you're going to some of these other stands, you see one vendor, two vendors, three vendors. They're all selling the same exact merchandise. They're selling the same new toys that are coming out. They're selling stuff that, you know, their stand looks like a little Toys R Us. It's all modern, mass-produced action figures and toys. And there's several vendors all doing the same thing. It's just not a cup of tea for me. I just don't like it. I think that the most unique vendors and the people that I want to buy from are the people that are either they're dealers and they're always, you know, turning over new collections, or they're selling out of their personal collection. And those are the guys that I'm always looking for. And of course, the guys that are motivated sellers looking to make deals. But I'm going to stop talking, so let's just sit back, enjoy the video. Let me know what you would have bought. Let me know if you think I did a good job on this buy or not. And I'll share some more thoughts at the end of the video. All right, guys, enjoy it. Did you see that book right there? It says Amazing Fantasy. That is the first appearance of Spider-Man. It's the first time Spider-Man was ever brought to life.
Oh, wow.
It's a very expensive book.
How much around do you think?
Probably 5 figures.
Really?
How's it going?
Good.
Good.
Where do you want to go? Oh, he's over there. This is the best
We're good here with cheap comics. That's a cool show. No? new faves.
place, man. It was empty too. It was worse than last week. Yeah, a lot of vendors are coming with a daily. Bad. I popped in my spot because when nobody in there, I paid for the money. One guy was like, oh, you leaving? I'm like, yeah, he's never like you didn't get on the car. So you look at my chart now? He said, oh no, I'm just saying. I want to come here and masturbate. You know what I'm talking about. Get him a
That's pretty cool. That's been Reed Chamber.
That is cool. Wow, look at that. How much you have on the Rambo?
I have him about 400. He's graded.
That's awesome.
Yeah, take a look. You can pick him up, look at the grade.
Wow.
You can take a picture, whatever you want to do.
This is one of the nicer ones I've seen.
Yeah, I got an 80, 80, and a 60, I think, for the card. If you look on the back, too, it's pretty cool.
400 you said on that?
400, yeah. And they
Something
have the
to
American
think about.
Gladiator graded, too, over there.
Those are so cool.
I don't know if you've ever seen them graded before.
It's a little before my time, but my friend is
Yeah, it's about the 90s.
Die
And
hard
they had
on
the
that.
Netflix series on. I don't know if you saw the Netflix about the American Gladiators. That's pretty cool.
And what'd you have on the Lion-O?
I don't know. Jamie? Where's Jamie go? That's my buddy Jamie's.
Okay. I'll definitely circle back.
All right, cool. Take that.
Awesome
doing a
stand.
video or what? Anything good?
Doing, yeah, YouTube video.
Oh, nice. Very
Yeah.
cool.
I'll definitely stop back here. I'll end up circling back to this guy's stand because there's some really great stuff here. I still need the price on the Lion-O Thundercat toy, but I really love this vintage Rambo action figure, still in the original box and graded. It's just an awesome piece.
$3 2 for 5.
I'm sorry?
$3 2 for 5.
I am. What's your name?
Joe,
Joe? Nice to meet you, Chris.
I answered one of your questions on Instagram about a Shogun Warrior piece. It was like a.
I haven't.
This is a couple of years ago.
I think I remember that one. I remember that because I bought it in like a lot of stuff and I wasn't sure what that thing
I
was.
was like, I know what that is. That's Shogun Warrior. So fun. Random.
I've since gotten locked out of my Instagram. I can't figure out how to get back in. But I'm going to try
What are you
to.
guys doing these days?
Just doing videos.
He's still selling? He's still selling at Meadowlands?
No,
Every once in a while. I mean, we're planning another trip soon, probably like in the first weekend of July.
pretty
Yeah.
much loaded up, so yeah, we got to start selling.
They get like bags. I have a bunch of head sculpts that are just
Yeah.
going off to the side. I haven't even like worked on them. Because they're all just.
I have one from any I don't know. Really? Any rock painted.
Returned.
Good. How's the video going?
So far, so good. Is this the guy with the lineup? How much you have on this guy?
Fully complete. I would do 80. The
do
short
80.
size, everything's nice.
It's
And it
really
lights
nice.
Up, and it lights up good.
Batteries work.
Yep.
Very nice.
And what'd you have on this Luke Skywalker here?
Oh god, that's like 500 bucks.
$500.
It's got the blue saber snap tape.
Okay, nice. Or just what?
That's beautiful.
Okay, yeah. What? Yeah. I gotta remember.
I know.
Sweet, right?
Too many options here.
I know. It's always good.
And let me just throw in, what do you guys asking for the Dr. McCoy right here?
That's the five back. Look on the back of it. The
Uh-huh.
The way they did
the
it,
five
Careful
back
with
one.
it.
It's a rare one. Normally has
Yeah.
a communicator on the back. That one has the 5 on there. What do you guys think?
And the robot
I would do
starts out as
250.
like
250.
He knows his toys. He's a young guy, but he knows his toys. Yeah. It's amazing. Like, it's always cool, right?
Yeah, I love them.
That's so. I think it's really cool.
And for me, like my childhood was Thundercat. Like that's what I watched. Like he got me DVD sets, and that's what I was watching. So Star Wars, Rambo.
Thundercats were fun too.
So I hate to exclude Rambo from the deal, but question: would you do 500 for both?
Yeah, absolutely.
Take 500 for both?
There you go. Nice.
I would do that.
same time they were doing the show, they did a line of comics.
No backpack, right?
No backpack for the gun.
Yeah.
The gun sold for 55 the other day, like a week ago. I looked at. I've been watching all the
both
parts
made.
of Boba Fett. But
He's
decided,
fair.
you know,
Even Snarf's nose.
No, it's one of the nicer ones I've seen out of the package. It's really nice.
They're trapped in like a miniature.
Double
like
check me
tiny
on
people.
You sold on the Galaxy
But that was the
Fighter
show. Every
Warriors.
place they went, there was always
500.
Yeah, Bobby
The
went
way
and
they
bought
did
them all.
it, you know.
I still got a Rambo left. Don't worry.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hey, take care.
And of course, it's a TV
Have a good
show
one,
from the
man.
60s.
All right, guys, so I'm back in the basement after what I would call a very successful trip to the Wayne Toy Show in Wayne, New Jersey. Let's take a second here to go over these two buys that I got from the same vendor. First, I'll show you guys this Lion-O. 1985 Lion-O. He has his claw, or his glove, I should say. A Snarf. He's awesome. I don't think... somebody's got to tell me if I'm wrong. Did Snarf originally come with Lion-O, or is he a separate character, like sold separately? I don't know. Here is the Sword of Omen. It's in nice shape. A lot of times you see these, they're really bent. This is the first time I've ever owned a fully complete working Lion-O. It's so, so cool. And check out the toy itself. I mean, that thing is so clean. So clean. Tight limbs. And then he had told me that it worked. So let's see if we can fire up Lion-O here. There are the eyes. They work. So this is the first time I've ever owned anything like this from the Thundercats line that's complete and in such immaculate condition and working condition. You look on these kind of comps on eBay, and loose but complete like this in working condition, prices kind of range anywhere from $125 to $100. So this is definitely well worth the buy. I thought his asking price of $85 was actually pretty reasonable itself. Then let's get into this bad boy. Let's get into the buy so far of the year. I'd say this is the buy of 2024 for me. And this is a 1983 Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker. Two things that make this figure a little more desirable than others. One, the snap cape. So this is actually like a Star Wars variant. Most of the capes don't have this. You see that little button right there. And so it snaps on and actually stays on the figure a lot better. Most of the toys don't come like that. The other thing that's making this a little more rare is the fact that it's a snap cape with a blue lightsaber. So you can find examples of the Luke Skywalker snap cape on eBay right now with the green lightsaber, and that one is slightly more common. And as you can see, it's graded in a CAS 85. It's actually closer to an 87, a real grade of 86.9. You do see that if you could read it there, I don't know if I can get the zoom in. The description of the toy does say snap cape, so that is a listed variation that does make the toy more desirable. The only sold example of a CAS 85 Luke Skywalker snap cape with the blue lightsaber sold for $625, and I'll post that so you can see it. $625. I don't think, I think that if you put this up for auction right now, I don't know if it would fetch $625. $500 for both these toys. I ended up paying $450 for this. And also really important for me is that it came with the paperwork and that the guy had the authentic paperwork to go along with it. Guys, if you're buying high-end pieces, and I say this whether it's CGC Comics or graded toys or graded video games, whatever the case may, or antiques and collectibles or whatever it could be, The more documentation you can provide with a sale, or at least the more, another way to say it is the more history that you could put behind the piece, the more it becomes valuable. And I do think that that's important to an extent. At least it's important to collectors like me, and it's also important to other collectors out there. So anytime you can put paperwork along with an item, or pictures or documentation, it goes a long way. So I'm super stoked. I thought that this was a really, really awesome buy. I'll lower the camera here so you guys can kind of see both these toys in all their glory. Luke Skywalker and Lion-O. Iconic swords. You got the Sword of Omen and you got the lightsaber. Highly sought after 80s toys. And for me, like the Luke Skywalker, that's not one that I'm actively trying to resell. And I'd say the same for the Lion-O too, although I know that the Lion-O is going to sell super easily. And I can easily, get more than what I paid for it. So I don't know if I want to just yet. I kind of want to hold on to it and play with it a little bit. But the Luke Skywalker is one of those toys that I think it's a really nice piece to own, and I'm glad that I have it now in my collection. When I said $500 for the two of them, I wasn't sure if he was going to come back with a counter offer or not, and I was so glad that he shook my hand and just went ahead and went with it. I also really wanted that Rambo action figure too, but an extra $400 on top of this buy was going to set me back a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly had a blast making it. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Goodbye.